out in 2015, and he goes and talks about it, and then I've written a book about it, kind of some other things since. And basically in the documentary, they study schools that are highly successful at creating critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication skills within the students, and how they design those schools to be successful. And a few of the things that they do is that they have cross-curricular opportunities. They give students opportunities to work with businesses to solve major problems. And then they let the teachers on the back end help figure out what the assessment and what the grades and what all those things look like. And so they basically take school and they just kind of invert it and they shake it all out, and then they have a whole different product. And there's been schools across this country and across even our state that have started to adopt those practices. There's a school in Cedar Rapids called Iowa Big. Waukee has one called Apex. Cedar Falls has a program called CAPS. And they all basically attempt to do this exact same thing, where we want you to focus on solving problems, being creative, and communicating with each other on projects, and then the teachers will figure out how to grade and assess that against some standards and some rubrics. Rubrics is a bad word, I shouldn't use that word. But against, what are the standards we're trying to accomplish? Okay, so that's the theory. As a school district as a whole, we studied those schools. We tried to understand what is it that they're offering and how are they designing these programs. And something that was unique to all of them that we had a problem with was that they are program-based. You had to leave your school and go to that program. You had to leave your regular high school and go do something different because that apparently is better. Our problem was that these programs were for only certain kids. Our question we asked was, why don't all kids deserve this? Why can't we have every kid go through a program or through a course or through a study, or these really important life skills, these really important skills that we want all kids to have are the barrier, right? That's what you need to have so that you can be successful in life. Therefore, that's what you need to have to leave here. And that was essentially like the starting point, the genesis of senior seminar. That every child that graduates from Oelwein High School deserves to have an opportunity to be taught these skills, to practice these skills, and to have these skills ready before they go out into life. So we took those things, we engineered a course, we put the design together, we talked to the school board, they bought into it. Hey, this is important, this needs to be a graduation requirement. Every kid has to have these skills and go through this course before they can graduate, because it's incredibly important, right? I would argue that these are just as important or more important than all the other stuff you've done, than the chemistry, the physics, the math, the social studies, that this is the most important class that you will take here. But I promise you, and what we've got from feedback from other kids, having done this now for 4 years, is you will only get out of this course what you put into it. These folks up here in front, they'll push you, they'll ask questions, they'll challenge your thinking, they're going to try to get more out of you than what you maybe think you can get out of yourself. But I promise you, if you want to make it worth your time and you want to work on those skills, collaboration, creativity, communication, flexibility, productivity, you will only get out of this course what you put into it. This is an opportunity for you to practice something that you're passionate about, for you to dig into something that you've never had an opportunity to dig into before, to work collaboratively with your peers, to work collaboratively with people in the community in a way that you've never had an opportunity to do so in your educational experience before. This course can be a life-altering moment in terms of the trajectory that you're going to choose in your life. I left high school thinking that I was going to be going to go build houses. I was going to be a construction manager. And that's what I want to do my entire high school career. Nobody could convince me otherwise. That's what I was going to do. Graduated, left high school, was enrolled in college to go take courses to do this. That summer, I started working for a contractor building houses. Well, wouldn't you know it, I didn't really love it. And thankfully, I had the forethought to know, like, hey, I don't probably want to do this for my entire life. And to, change paths. I did it early enough that it didn't cost me a whole bunch of time I didn't end up being happy or unhappy for years and years and years doing something I didn't necessarily love. I had an opportunity to figure out what I wanted to do before I really spent all that money in college doing those things. But that opportunity was not given to me in high school. It was something I had to do on my own. This is hopefully that opportunity that you have to dig into a career or passion area that you think is something you want to do. And maybe you can figure out if you love it and you want to continue on that path, or if you don't love it. Okay. The next piece I'm going to try to transition here that I find extremely important to help set the stage and what's going to be coming next, and that's action plans. Being a successful person is not just about setting dreams or having dreams and thinking, pie in the sky, but it's about actually stepping out the plan it's going to take to become successful. So Vince Lombardi once said, the man on the top of the mountain did not just fall there. The most successful people you've ever seen in your life did not just show up one day and were super successful. They had a plan, they practiced, they failed, they got back up, and they continued that process over and over and over again. So in this course and in life, you're going to have to ask yourself, I want to do this thing. How am I going to get there? All right, you got to take a chance and you got to leap over to the next side and figure out, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to become, this is what I want to do. Go to the next one. You have to plan for obstacles. Easy to sit here and say, well, I'm going to do this thing, right? And then I just have to go do it. Well, life does not work that way. Life is much messier. There are questions you don't know to ask yet. And as you start down your path, that process changes. And you have to adjust. You have to persevere. You got to have grit. You got to be able to work through those issues so that you can ultimately get to your goal. Okay? So we know through experience, and you probably know through experience too, that reality is often a lot tougher than what the initial path is. The more you can plan for the bottom track, the more likely you are to succeed. And if those traverses, over those hills and valleys become much easier if you have a plan to how to get over them. In planning, you want to keep your plan simple so that it's achievable. Continually, over and over and over again, answer the following questions. Who am I doing this for? Who am I working with? What am I doing? What am I trying to accomplish? When am I getting it done? When am I getting it done? When does this have to be done by? When's the next step? And then, how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I do that? The more you can ask those questions, the more likely you are to be successful. Man who moves a mountain begins by moving small stones. How do you eat an elephant? Anybody know how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Good job. That's the only way you can eat an elephant. Has anybody ever eaten an entire large pizza? Right? It is impressive. How do you eat an entire large pizza? One piece at a time. Right? I don't know many people that actually sit down with an entire large pizza and just say, let's go. Nope. They put it on the counter, they take their plate, they put 2 or 3 pieces on, they go sit down and eat them, they come back, all of a sudden now half the pizza's gone, you get those done, you're like, all right, I'm still a little hungry, I'll eat the other quarter, so now you're down to like whatever, and it's like, I don't really want to have that pizza cold, right? Like, I might as well finish this thing off. And you've eaten an entire pizza, okay? The same thing happens here, okay? One piece at a time, one small bite at a time, one stone at a time. Okay, this is a very...
Oh, sorry.
How much time do you have left?
I'm carried away. 7 minutes.
Okay. You guys are going to have a template that you work from as far as an action plan as part of the course design. Now, we help you go through an action plan. Action planning is super important, because it really helps set those goals in motion. How do I accomplish something? You have to have a goal, and then that goal becomes a strategy. That strategy becomes an objective. Who's responsible for getting that done? It adds accountability, and when does it have to be done by? Okay? Does anybody use to-do lists? I'm a crazy to-do lister. Does anybody write things on their to-do list they've already done, and then cross them out?
Feels good.
It does, right? Like, it's so, like, it sets off chemicals in your brain. You've accomplished something, even though I already knew I've accomplished it, but I wrote it down and crossed it off again. Okay? The act of writing something down, the act of crossing it off, will increase the likelihood that you will do it and that you will be successful. So that's what we're doing in action plan. They're so important to your success in this course. The more detailed you are, the more that you can articulate what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, who's going to help you, and when it has to be done by, the more likely that you are to succeed. Okay, so a really simple example. Okay, so I have a dream. Okay, that dream is that I want to cook. I want to cook and make people happy. Okay, that dream needs some more detail so I can make it a reality. So it becomes a goal. I want to cook a spaghetti dinner for 12 people by next Friday. So that's all right. So the dream can become a reality by becoming a goal, and then I put it in motion by adding an action plan. Any idea how you cook a spaghetti dinner for 12 people? What are some potential action steps?
Get the recipe.
Buy ingredients. Get the spaghetti. Recipe. Yeah, you got to have a recipe. What about you know how to make spaghetti? Right? I had a college roommate that couldn't figure out how to open up the little 90-second Alfredo noodles, put them in water, put them in the microwave. It's like, somebody needs to help me. I'm like, read the directions. It's on the back of the package. No, you have to help me. Like, dude, for real. Like, you got issues. He didn't know. Okay? We can't assume that you know how to cook spaghetti. Okay? So you got to write those things down. How much spaghetti you got to buy for 12 people? What is a lot? Right? Do you know how much that is? How much are you putting meat in it? What kind of sauce are you going to use? Are all 12 people going to like the sauce you pick? Are you having anything besides spaghetti and sauce? Are you having a salad? Are you having a drink? What are they eating on? Where are they eating? When are they eating? How are they eating? What are they eating with? You see all the questions you have to answer in that very simple example? It sounds crazy, right? It's just a spaghetti dinner for 12 people. But when you break it down into the actual decisions you have to make, there is a lot of decisions you have to make. The more you can write down, the more you can plan, the more likely it is that you will be successful. So, the importance of action plans. The difference between a goal and a dream is a deadline. Life is literally that simple. So those are some more detailed steps on how to build an action plan. Have fun. Challenge yourself. Step outside your box. Step outside your comfort zone. Do something great. Again, you will only get out of this course what you put into it. It's that simple. If you want to have fun and you want to do something cool and you want to learn something about yourself and you want to have an opportunity to dig into collaboration and creativity and communication, take a risk and try something and have some fun with it. If you think this is a giant pain in your ass and you have that mindset and you don't want to do this and you don't want to be here and you think this is a huge stupid joke, both are probably correct. Right? And nothing these guys say about it is going to change your mind. So your mindset in this course is going to be super important in terms of you being successful and you getting something out of it. Okay?
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Good luck. Have a good senior year. Yeah, hey, this group applauded.
Right?
I waited for applause last time.
I gave you this last time.
Yeah, it is. Don't touch it.
Oh, now you have to